After raising my daughter for more than 20 years, she left to live with her mother, who had abandoned her, and later came back pregnant after being kicked out. AITA for not talking to her. I raised my 24-year-old daughter on my own. I had her when I was very young, 19 years old. Her mother broke up with me and said she didn't want to be responsible for a child. I was granted full custody, and my ex gave up her parental rights and left, I don't know where. It was really hard to raise and take care of her. Thankfully, my sister and mother helped me while I was working, but even then, it was tough managing my daughter, work, household chores, and everything else on my own. For her, I even gave up dating or marriage because I didn't want her to have a stepmother or anything like that. 2 years ago, my daughter's relationship with her mother began to grow. Her mother visited me and said she wanted to talk to her daughter. I didn't want to allow it, but I thought my daughter needed to know her mom. They became very close and spent a lot of time together. I didn't have an issue with that, but 10 months ago, my daughter told me she wanted to live with her mom. I refused and told her it would be better for her to stay with me and visit her mom daily if she wanted. But my daughter didn't listen and said she was an adult who could do whatever she wanted. I tried to explain and repeatedly told her that her mom wasn't a good person, but she didn't listen to me. After she left, I didn't have much contact with her for months. I tried, but she always said she was busy or made excuses, and we only talked on the phone occasionally. 5 days ago, my daughter came to visit me, crying. I was angry because she had ignored me all this time, but I let her in. She hugged me immediately and, after a while, told me the truth. She said she was pregnant and that her mother had kicked her out after she ran out of money, the money I had given her. I was shocked because I didn't even know she had a boyfriend, and now she's pregnant. I love my daughter very much, even though I feel betrayed. I couldn't deny her entry into my house, so I let her stay. However, I haven't spoken to her. She told me she found out she was pregnant a month ago, and when she told her mom kicked her out after days of taunting. Her ex-boyfriend doesn't want to take responsibility for the child, so she needs my legal help. I told her I would help her with everything but wouldn't talk to her. I said, I did everything for you. I sacrificed everything for you, but you didn't even come back home or visit your father once. Since she came back, I haven't spoken to her. On the other hand, she's depressed and acting like a 9-year-old again. She hugs me randomly, comes to sleep beside me, and while sleeping, she hugs me and cries. I feel like she's seeking her father's comfort, so I hug her back and let her sleep. My daughter begs me to talk to her and says she needs her father, but I think she should be punished for abandoning me. That's why I'm giving her the silent treatment, though I will help her with everything else. Am I wrong for being upset with my daughter? Update. Before getting into the update, I want to address a few things. First, I'm honestly surprised there were 3,000 comments. Obviously, I couldn't read them all, but thanks for the advice. Also, what's up with some of the comments saying I slept with my ex when she was a minor and I was an adult? What the hell? She's a year older than me. And those comments about me wanting my daughter to be my soulmate. What the actual hell? Stop with that creepy stuff. Honestly, screw my ex. She ruined my life first, then my daughter's. The only good thing she ever gave me was my daughter, and she didn't even spare her either. Anyway, I decided not to punish my daughter with the silent treatment any longer. Obviously, I never planned to do it forever or even for very long, just a few days to a week or two at most. My goal was to teach her that she can't take her loved ones for granted and that if she pushes them away, they might not come back. In any case, I sat my daughter down to clear the air. I told her we needed to talk, and she was happy. I told her, I'm your father, and you are my child. You were, are, and always will be my responsibility. If you weren't my blood-related child and I hadn't accepted you back into my home, where would you have gone? To the streets? Your behavior was unjustified. We've lived together for the past 25 years, and you just disappeared. You didn't even come to visit me and only called me once in a blue moon. She looked sad. I could see it on her face. I comforted her and tried to explain that she should prioritize herself first and foremost. I told her, the money I gave you, which you spent, could have lasted 3 years. If you had saved, it could have lasted 5 years. But you blew it on your mother. That money was meant for you, your future, and your education. I explained that I could have kicked her out when she turned 18, like some selfish parents do, or given her up for adoption and not taken responsibility for raising her, like her mother did. But I didn't. It's a privilege to have a father who supports you financially and still lets you live with him at your age. I asked her who her boyfriend was or if anyone had forced her. Thankfully, she said she wasn't forced, because otherwise, I would have lost it. She told me she met a guy, started dating him, and was happy living with her mother. She trusted her new boyfriend and got pregnant. When she told her mom that she had no more money and was pregnant, her mom kicked her out, and her boyfriend didn't want to be a father, so he left. I told her, "You can have the baby if you want. I'll support you, but your life will end up like mine. Unlike me, you have a family member to support you. When I was raising you, my sister and mother only helped take care of you when I wasn't around. But since you're living with me and you're my daughter, I'll help you raise the child if you choose to have it." She told me she wanted to terminate the pregnancy and started crying. I hugged her and told her to think carefully. Raising a child is hard, but so is abortion. You might regret it in the future. As she cried, I consoled her and said, "I'll support you until the day I die. I'm not upset about the money. Everything I have is yours. This entire house is yours. Don't worry about the money. I'll give you twice as much as you spent." My daughter apologized for ignoring me and not listening to me. I told her, "I didn't want to say this, but your mother is a piece of work. You wanted to know her, so I stayed quiet. But you're no longer 16. You can't just cuddle with me and cry." She said she was hurt by her mother and her boyfriend's betrayal and thought she might lose me too. I told her, "I'll support you. If you decide to keep the baby, we'll pursue child support. It's time for you to focus on your life, finish your master's degree, get married, and stand your ground." We decided to go to therapy, and my daughter said I should find a woman and get married. But I'm not interested in that. My focus is on my daughter and her well-being. I want her to be happy, free from this toxicity, and able to build her own life.